Hello, my name is Avesh Trutu, and today I will be demonstrating on how to install Windows Server 2008 onto a virtual machine using Oracle VM Virtualbox software. So first, I will start up the software, and now I will create a new virtual machine and name it Windows Server 2008. The version of Windows Server we'll be using is 32-bit, so I will select that, which is under Microsoft Windows. Here I will be able to allot a portion of memory to make sure the virtual machine runs efficiently. So in this case I will be using 1024 megabytes or 1 gigabyte. Now create a virtual hard disk. It'll be a VirtualBox disk image. I'll want to keep the storage or physical hard disk space to be dynamically allocated so that it scales with the size of the contents that are being installed on this partition. So now I come to the point where I select the capacity for this partition. So in this case I will select 60 gigabytes, and now I've created it. So in this window here there's a summary or a generalized view of the settings for this virtual machine. Now this machine is blank, whereas it does not have any operating system or of any sort on it. So I will now go to the settings option right here, where it allows me to further see and configure any options that I would like this virtual machine to have. So I will select system, where I can now see the boot sector or the boot order of this virtual machine. I would prefer to have the optical drive as being the primary bootable device, followed by the hard disk. Now we don't usually use floppy drives, so I will disable that. Okay, so all that is checked. Display, don't need to have anything changed there. Storage. Now over here it allows me to select an ISO image for the optical drive of this VM. So by selecting this icon here, this option, it allows me to choose an image from my computer. In this case will be the Windows Server 2008, and there, now that this has been changed from empty to Windows Server 2008 ISO, this will be the image that will be installed on this VM. So just double check. Audio, network, by default set to NAT, that remains unchanged. USBs are good. Right, so all seems well. So I save that, and now I will start the VM. Here the VM is powering up and the Windows is beginning to load its files. Right, now this is the initial startup of Windows Server 2008. You select next, install now. I will not be activating anything at this time, so I will just select next and select no for this when they ask for the product key. It's taking a bit of a while to reach to the next screen. There we go. Now the version of the Windows Server 2008 setup that will be installed will be that of the standard installation. There are other versions such as the Enterprise, the Data Center, standard server core, enterprise server core, and data center server core. The server core is just the bare Windows shell or the command line interface that only the viewers will be able to see, whereas the full installation provides the full extent of the graphical user interface for any user or administrator to navigate properly. So I will now go ahead and select the full version of standard, and I'll check this box. I accept. I'll now select custom since upgrade is grayed out. Right, so this is the partition that was created in the VM initially, 60 gigabytes in capacity. So by selecting drive options to view additional options, I will create a partition using the full 60 gigs as indicated here. Apply. And now I will format this partition. Good. Now that that has been done, I'll select next, and there you can see the process of copying files has begun. Now this process takes quite a bit of time, so I will pause the video and resume when it is upon completion. Okay, so this is just to show the progress that has been so far. It's completed expanding the files. Okay, so now a restart is in order. Okay, so at the moment it sets up the computer. And just pause a while until that's completed. Okay, so the configurations are completed. Now it's starting up, so I can go to my desktop. Okay, just some minor installation completing. Okay, so while that is going on, I'll just pause it for a while. Oop, never mind. Seems to have completed. Right, so it just restarted. so all seems to be going well so far. We should be just about completed the setup. So now it should be bringing me to the page where I have to enter my credentials or set an administrator's password. Okay, so that's just taking a bit of a time. Nice. So this is the first time logon screen where they ask you to enter a password. In this case, I will use the password exclamation mark as capital P at SSW0RT exclamation. I have to enter it again. Nice. So all's well there. It's just preparing my desktop contents. Nice. And there we go. This is the desktop for Windows Server 2008. Alright, and these are little configuration tasks here, or this console, which allows me to add server rules. And from within this tab, you can create a Exchange server, DHCP server, can set up domains. Right, let me just go to the list. Here we go. Yep, so you can install Active Directory domain services, DHCP server, and a whole list of other available options. But we wouldn't do any of that today because I just wanted to demonstrate the installation part of Windows Server 2008. And now that that has successfully been completed, I can now conclude this demonstration. Okay, so bye bye.